The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots.
Streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app.
Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
And it is the official start to Patriots Week here on Mick Shots inside the SWBC podcast studio at Ford Center at the Star in Frisco. Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola in an alarming sight as I walked into the podcast studio, Mickey Spagnola, because there were no football players, no football equipment on the practice field here. What are we doing? Are we taking the week off? What's going on
That's
here?
right. They are so confident. It's like, these are the 2 and 3 Patriots. Don't need to practice. It was raining.
Don't say that, Spag. Someone will take that as Bible.
Yeah.
Right,
It was what?
It was raining here this morning.
Well, so do you think it might not rain in Foxborough? What happened the last time the Cowboys went to New England and played?
I don't think you want to mess up your practice trying to portray that rain.
They already saw the weather report, Bill.
Oh, that's right.
You can't fool them.
Yeah.
Sun's out.
If you can believe the weatherman.
And it was supposed to
And the weather women.
And if you're going to believe the
Yeah,
weather.
now you want to be politically correct.
The weather person. It was supposed to keep raining during the days, so you can see you don't believe them, right? Because now the sun's coming out. But it's supposed to, and even tomorrow, so they may be indoors both days.
Okay.
In the Ford Center.
So we are practicing. Okay.
They are practicing.
Okay.
I can
All right.
vouch
Very good.
for that. I can give you a good practice report if
All
you
right.
care to hear it.
Yeah.
And just let me know when you want to
Because you
start.
were, it was just about an hour and a little over an hour ago where practice was open for the media to take a look inside Ford Center. And we can get to that. And there's so much more to get to. We taped the Mike McCarthy show last night. I got some stuff from him to pass along as well. And it's just a big week. When it's the Patriots, it's always a big week. I don't care what their record is.
Do I have to do another interview after the show, Bill? Let me know now so I can get my face on.
No, you're good. We're good.
We're good.
Yeah,
We're good.
The Everson Walls victory tour continues.
Actually,
Trayvon Diggs.
Actually, I saw what was in the background. It was the highlight film of Everson Walls' interceptions. Right. And I was thinking during our show, instead of showing us, we'll just put that on
there
a loop.
There you go,
right.
just on a whole loop,
Put
man.
it on a loop.
That's
Everyone that's in the Hall of Fame that I think doesn't deserve to be there, they usually had a show.
Right?
I don't know if you want to compare it, if Mick Shots can compare it to those shows that they had.
Oh, yes, it does.
Only because they were like, ESPNs and all that kind of stuff.
That's the whole key to getting into the Hall of Fame.
You got to have some what do you call it?
How do you think Lynn Swann got in so quickly?
Oh, Howie Long.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I got a bunch of them. Yeah, I got a bunch of them. We can continue.
Tomorrow we're going to have a list.
Yeah. Oh, I have it now. No, it's right here. It's right here.
Everson Walls' list.
You got to stay top of mind. All right, so you want to go inside practice and tell us what was going on?
Yes, I will tell you. I think the most notable thing was it didn't look like Trayvon Diggs was going to practice. It looks like he's got a sprained left ankle.
So it's the one that they fell on.
They retaped him during the game, the Giants game, and so at the beginning of practice he was working on the resistance cords, and it didn't look like he was going to practice because he was in tennis shoes, all right? And I didn't see a helmet around.
Right.
We'll get that report here.
He and
later.
the wide receiver were injured on that particular.
Oh, the same play.
The same play.
Their wide
Kenny
receiver.
Galladay?
Yeah. And so, as a matter of fact, when he was doing some of the resistance stuff while he was waiting his turn to get on the cords, he was doing his little side steps. And at one point, he took his left shoe off. So I'm guessing it's his left ankle. just from experience of looking at
the
injuries.
way you look at it, it's hard to. He fell on the back of his ankle, but what was stretched was the top of his ankle. Looked like that was really extended because he fell on the back of it. And it seemed like that's where the injury is probably on the top of it.
So it looked like that he was not going to practice, but this is when McCarthy answered the question at the press conference, he just thought they would have to see a couple guys what they go through, but he didn't think it was anything serious enough to keep him out on Sunday. Zeke started off the practice the same way, but he was dressed and ready to go. So
we're not going to be doing this Don Bishop thing to where he's going to be injured a few games.
and that
come back and get another interception.
Right, yeah.
That's right.
Like 20 games.
That's right.
And keep Bill's streak going.
That's right. Yeah.
So Zeke did it, and then they had two guys that have been on IR with designated to return, and they started their 3-week period today. Sean McEwen and Donovan Wilson. Mm-hmm. They were both out there doing individual drills during the special teams and fundamentals they did, and then I think that was it for them. But at least they getting going. So that's
I got
important.
a question on that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Does the bye week count as one of those 3 weeks? I stumped him.
I don't know because you don't have a full week of practice.
Mm-hmm. So I would think it would not count.
Yeah, because
so you're buying a fourth week here.
You
still have a full week of practice, just no game, right?
No, you got to give the guys 4 consecutive days off. So Thursday
wow.
Thursday
Boy,
through
this
Sunday.
Is such a nice week. Oh my goodness!
See, you guys,
man, I'd be on vacation.
You guys didn't have a good CBA, you know. You didn't get enough time off.
It wasn't enough of us knock loopy, you know. To where they say, okay, now we need to change.
So generally what they'll do is come in on Monday as normal after a game, have Tuesday off, do something on Wednesday, and generally the way it's worked, at least when Jason was here, Wednesday was kind of a young guys practice. The guys that don't get to practice that much, they would get them out there and go through some of the team stuff.
Practice players too?
The practice squad guys can go out there also, yeah.
I want a update on –
Go ahead.
Michael Gallup, what's going on with him and Gallimore?
Gallimore continues to do rehab on the side. Mm-hmm. So like I said, it's his elbow, so he's running really well. So I think those guys after
he's down to 250 pounds.
Wow!
Right.
He's losing it.
After the bye, maybe after the bye, maybe.
And that's Gallimore. So
yeah, because Gallimore had to miss. I think he had to. Did he have to miss 6 games? I can't remember if he was in that category.
I don't think it was 6 games.
Because he was at training camp.
It was not 6 games.
He wasn't a pup guy.
Right.
That's right.
What about Gallup?
Gallup, I still think after the bye, at the earliest.
Now Tristan Hill is the pup guy.
Tristan Hill's the trup guy, and he had to miss six games, right?
Yeah.
Or 6 weeks, whatever it was.
I'm asking about Gallup because as we move on, man, trade deadline coming up. I wonder if.
No.
Please, thank you, because I do not want that to happen.
Now, in regards to the trade deadline, here's the way I look at Michael Gallup. You're acquiring him in a trade, because you haven't had him.
Yeah.
And so about the trade deadline, you're getting him back, and so it's as if you just picked him up from another team.
I mean, as a player, if I'm him, I'm a little nervous. We're playing well, of course, but I'm not a part of it. I'm a little anxious.
Yeah.
I see Cedric Wilson getting off. Of course, you already knew.
Have one more injury and then come talk to me.
If the Cowboys were 1-4 right now instead of 4-1, then if I was Michael Gallup, I'd be nervous.
Right.
Right. And the other thing that stood out in practice when they were doing the offensive linemen were doing their little drills off on the side. I just wanted to ask Everson if he ever saw Ernie Stautner running a drill with a helmet on.
No,
okay.
I never have.
I'm not sure that he
probably didn't need one.
I was going to say
Ernie Stautner didn't play in his Pro Football Hall of Fame career with a helmet on.
That's right. He probably had.
It was like
he had leather,
a shoe sole.
He had leather,
a shoe sole.
Well, Dan Quinn was out there doing the drill, and he had a helmet on, by the way. And it wasn't like they were butting heads or anything, but he was doing the he had the pads in his hand and they're coming by, knocking him down, but he had the helmet on.
That only happens with winning teams.
Yeah, right.
That you do stuff like that. If you're out there, like you say, you're 1-4, and the coach is out there with his helmet on. Head coach comes like, "Hey man, quit screwing around. Give that to somebody."
So that's the highlights of the practice that I think we got to see.
Okay, well, very good. Mike McCarthy was talking last night in between taping the show that he breaks down the season into basically quadrants. Okay, where we're reaching the end of the first quadrant here. Where when you look at the Cowboys schedule because of the bye week next week, so
you got
6 weeks.
You got 18 weeks, basically, right?
But I think the last quadrant would be your playoffs.
Oh, I see.
So you got the 6. Now he didn't say that, but I just read into it.
Like every 5
or so weeks. Yeah.
And the way the Cowboys schedule breaks down, the way he's got it marked off is okay. We're ending the first quarter here with this game because of the bye week. And then you're going through November, which is a 5-week. And once, as the way the Cowboys schedule lines up, you got Thanksgiving and then the following Thursday at New Orleans. So that's a 5-game stretch for your second quarter. And then you're take it from there to the end of the season is your third quarter and then your fourth quarter.
Yeah, the NFL just transitioned into the dog days of winter.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because this season, after Christmas, after Thanksgiving, think about it, after Thanksgiving, we always had this stretch that we had to pay attention to. Now you got a couple of more weeks to deal with. That's the long days of winter.
No kidding. I mean, seriously, I've not had the schedule in front of me. I'm about to. But when you're looking at after Thanksgiving, this team has 6 games.
3 of which are in a row on the road.
Yes.
So after Thanksgiving, you've got – because the final regular season game this year is on January 9th.
Right.
And so you're taking it all the way to then. And and so I said, yeah, from a mental standpoint, I mean, that's only you have to break it up just to otherwise it's too consuming. And he said he looks at it,
another quadrant.
He said he looks at it more from the physical standpoint for the team, and what he will do as they get into December, he'll shorten practice and make it feel like it's not as
burdensome
long as it is.
Actually, he shortened today.
Yeah,
because they usually start at 11:20 or 11:40, I guess, and they started at noon.
And maybe that's also because he's the end of this first
quadrant.
And you can, I guess you can also, you had the preseason quadrant too,
right?
Which lasts, from July 20th until.
Yeah, but none of your starters really played.
That's right. But I mean, you're engaged in stuff.
Yeah.
So, in speaking of having to play 17 games, this is the 17th game this week. Basically, the extra game is New England.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the added game to the
because what they did was they added a non-conference, crossover game, and just where they sat in the standings last year, they did NFC East is playing NFC East teams, and the Patriots,
AFC East.
Playing AFC East teams, and the Patriots wound up in the same spot in the standings as the Cowboys did last year.
And then one other note on practice. So we now know that La'el Collins will miss the 5th game with the ruling that came down, but he has been eligible to be in the building and work on his conditioning. So he's been doing that. I think a little bit last week and he'll continue this week, and then he'll get the bye and a week of practice before the next game. So
I hope he comes back mad.
He should be he'll be $430,000 mad. Yeah, absolutely. Because I think
he comes back so angry, he just takes it out on the opposition.
And by the way, and I know there's a lot of talk out there, talk radio. Well, why would they mess with the continuity on the offensive line? Just let Steele play because he's playing so well. And it's like, look, La'el Collins, the last time we saw him play a season, he had a Pro Bowl season, just didn't get voted into it. And he was on the verge the next year. Unfortunately, the next year got wiped out by the hip injury.
And you start off looking at what he did this year.
Right. So let's not minimize this guy's talent and saying, well, no, let's just go with Steele, because the Cowboys have done a very good job. Steele has improved in his run blocking, pass blocking. He's gotten help. They've used those 2 tight ends, and they're not always on his side. They could be on the other side, but if they're on the other side,
then the
defense has got to shift, right? And so he doesn't have to worry about blitzes or 2 guys coming at him. Let's not undersell La'el Collins and what he can do once he's on the field.
I think he's been playing at a Pro Bowl level once again until this happened. Because the way he was playing against Tampa, keeping that defensive line out, allowing Dak to throw for 500 yards or whatever he threw for that particular game. No. Well, and when you look at the run blocking, no one was really successful in that regard. So, that's a wash as far as I'm concerned. But, no, he's been playing very well.
So, and that ruling reminds me of a saying Tex Schramm had a long time ago. I remember talking to him about a court case, right? And he said, sometimes a judge should do what's right, not what's legal. And that's what happened in this game. He did what was legal. He didn't feel like the judge basically scolded the NFL for how they conducted this whole thing.
Yeah.
But he said, because of the CBA and you agreed to have an arbitrator, I can't overrule the arbitrator.
He stuck with the letter of the law.
Right. But from a right and wrong, it was like, no, the NFL violated what they should have been doing in this case.
Right.
But I can't overrule the arbitrator. Mm-hmm. So he'll miss his 5th game, get his 5th game fine, and then be ready to come back the next game then against at Minnesota.
And you know how I look at that? Cowboys just acquired La'el Collins in a trade.
I thought you were going to say, and there's another reason why I got out of law school.
No, that too, yeah.
Texas' other thing was about court cases. They were talking about something going to court, and he was like, no, you want to get it settled. Don't go to court. And it's like, well, why wouldn't you go to court? And he goes, let me tell you. He goes, when they tell you that you're being tried or you're being judged by jury of your peers, he goes, they ain't your peers.
That's good.
Yeah, black folks know that. Yeah, we've been knowing that a long time.
All right, we're going to continue with more Mick shots, and
I got a Mick shot for you too, ready to go.
All right, I can't wait to hear this Mick shot when we come back on Mick Shots.
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So, to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Mick Shots.
Cowboy fans, join the NFL in supporting our nation's service members by wearing the latest Dallas Cowboys Salute to Service gear. Visit your Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop or shop.dallascowboys.com. A Fanatics experience to find the full assortment of Salute to Service gear.
That was a little flat there, Spags.
I wasn't sure
you
where
did
that.
Well, just a little
flat. Wasn't sure where that was going. A Fanatic experience.
It sounded like it might have been the first time you had read that.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. He had no feeling.
It shouldn't have had that.
No
this comma needs to come out.
Oh, there he goes.
It's always
Send it back.
It's always the writer's fault.
Send it back to the writers.
Okay, it's time as we kick off this segment for the first Mick shot of this day.
Yes.
So,
hold
on. Did you know that Bill Belichick had 19 consecutive winning seasons until last year? And he's second all-time to
Tom Landry.
Tom Landry with 20.
Baby. That's right.
And I also
Bill
saw
knew that
another
as a
little
Cowboy fan.
note that Bill Belichick has won the most playoff games in NFL history with 31, and in second place,
Tom Landry
with 20.
There you go. Bill, Bill was going to open up his book to try.
He was going to double check.
Confirm.
I was looking back at that '74 season, making sure the Cowboys were 8-6 in '74. That was the year, the 1 year in that 20-year stretch.
They didn't go to the playoffs,
didn't make the playoffs,
but they had a winning season.
That's right. Yeah,
That's absolutely.
And I was part of '84.
That was my first season.
Yeah. I knew that's why I didn't like you.
It was Mickey's fault.
All of a sudden, we look around. There's this little elf walking around. Bad luck elf.
As a matter of fact, the game that decided it was at Miami. Remember,
right.
The Dolphins came from behind.
To be honest, that game really didn't decide it.
Right.
We knew that before the
it, though,
game
didn't
started.
it?
Yeah. That just kind of, they were just having fun.
I was standing.
We played as if we still had a chance. Yeah.
I was standing in behind the end zone when.
Clayton?
Was it Clayton that caught the touchdown
That's
pass?
his second touchdown.
Yeah.
He happens to be a very good friend of mine, so I hear about this all the time.
You do? You hear it's his second interception.
Second touchdown.
And just like he hears, even though he wasn't on the other side, about your 2 interceptions in
he wasn't there then.
Game.
Yes, that's correct. That's when they had just slow white wide receivers, but they still ran by me. So I had my 2 interceptions.
As you see,
Brian Cephalo was
Jimmy Cephalo.
Jimmy Cephalo.
Yeah, there you go.
These accomplishments this year by certain people are bringing up historical markers for the Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm. There you go. That just lets you know we are a historic organization.
So you look at the Patriots, what they have done over a 2-decade period, and what the Cowboys did over a 2-decade period. I would say both of them are pretty remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the Cowboys was actually 2.5 decades, right? Well, I guess if you just look at 20 years from just 65 to 85, right? 21 years.
And guess who played for both of them?
Oh, he's taking credit.
Yes, that's right. Hey, that's right. I'll take credit. That's correct.
Okay, similarities between Coach Landry and Coach Belichick.
That's easy. Intellect. Just straight up intellect. And with that intellect, brought a lot of hard work on themselves. They didn't need anyone to push them. I don't know who taught Tom Landry his skills as a coach. Of course, he was a fighter pilot, I believe, in the Air Force. But when it came to Belichick, his father was an amazing coach. So Bill was always there with him. So you just kind of knew where that was going. Wasn't like he was some great player. I don't think he even tried to play sports. But he's always been around it. And I admire their command of all facets of the game. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm always talking about how that can help. I mean, that's just what I was taught by great coaches. There is no just offense, defense. There is no just a quarterback versus, a defensive back. This entire team, whoever you play on, any successful team I've been on, it's always been because we were strong at those 3 areas of the ball game. And that's why they have defense, offense, and the kicking game because they all matter.
You know, it's interesting because you think of most coaches, most head coaches, they have either a background on either the defensive side of the ball or the offensive side of the ball. Okay, he's an offensive coach. He's a defensive coach. And even though Landry was a defensive player, whatever, I mean, his innovation.
37 career picks?
Something like that.
By the way, and you can look up his stats right now, he had 6 picks in a row in 1950. It was either 51 or 52.
How many consecutive games?
I think it was the first 6 in a row.
Well, Pro Football Reference has 37 straight games. If you look at his game log,
his entire career,
every game he played in, he got an interception. Damn, Tom was tough.
That's right. But Tom had 6 picks with the Giants.
Hey, that's what I had with the Giants. 6 picks.
6, and it was either 51 or 52, I think.
And when you look at Tom's career, I mean, on a personal level, DBs, I think we were his least favorite position. You know, he just never really showed us much love. He didn't really – I know he appreciated what we did, but it was never a point of a conversation. And when the conversation came up, he would shoot it down. I guess he was just so afraid for us. You know, and when you look at one of the other things that he did, he invented a defense.
Yeah.
He invented the flex defense. Now, I don't know if you can attribute the amoeba defense to Bill Belichick, but you can definitely attribute the flex to Tom Landry because that's straight up. He authored that entire defense for stopping the great Jim Brown. So I believe Tom was a player coach when he designed it because he was trying to help out the middle linebacker. Who's the middle linebacker?
Sam Huff.
Sam Huff. Yeah.
Sam Huff was having problems with Jim Brown. And Tom said, don't worry, I'll take care of it. And he designed the defense so that Sam Huff could always be there to meet Jim Brown in the hole wherever he went down the line.
How's your research?
Landry had 32 interceptions in his career.
Right.
31 with the New York Giants and 1 with the New York Yankees.
Wow.
Love it. His first year.
That was the first
year.
That was
first year in 1949.
Same team, though, right?
New York Yankees.
Same team?
Well, no. The Yankees must have folded or something.
They ended up coming here.
That's right.
Right? Like 50
something like
football Yankees came here.
Yes. For 1 year. I don't even think they finished the year. I think they got bought out and they moved back east.
Okay.
There's people looking it up right now.
Yeah.
But on Pro Football
Call
Reference,
888-855-2297.
In Pro Football Reference, I just clicked on Landry's bio, the 1949 New York Yankees, and usually at the top it has previous season and next season. There's not a next season, and so I assumed that was their last year. Yeah, they were done.
Yeah.
So, and that was the AAFC.
Oh, okay.
So there's the difference.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So did you find his 6 straight interceptions yet? What year that occurred in?
I mean,
so 6 consecutive games for real.
I thought that's what I read. That it
but
was
then that should.
First,
well, it's not a Cowboy
thing. But see,
thing.
it wasn't a Cowboy record
thing, right?
And what they're
indirectly,
and what they're quoting now is since the merger in 1972.
Okay.
That's why Don Bishop doesn't get as much love as he deserves.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I got it.
But he got all the love he ever deserved on our show the other day.
We gave him a bunch of love, roses and flowers and candy.
Well, unfortunately, the game logs are
sketchy.
Yeah, at best.
All right, don't worry about it.
And also, he was a punter.
Yes.
So that's something else that you can attribute to his resume and attribute to his knowledge of special teams.
Maybe that's why he loved Danny White.
Well, that could be because I tell you, people talk about Danny as a quarterback. I have always thought he was a much better punter than a quarterback, and that is no knock on his quarterback game.
Right.
Because he saved us so many times with the fake punt, act as if he's going to just kind of run it, run up and kick it, and then he takes off. God, he did that countless times, which extended our drives. I don't remember it ever not working.
I think it did
once, maybe.
I think he told a story about one time.
Maybe one time
Landry got on him.
But to me, that's a great percentage.
It's like all the ones that work. Hey, way to go! And then it's like, now what are you doing?
Right. The only one we don't remember that we remember that didn't work was the No Danny No, which wasn't a punt.
That was not a punt. No, that's Dexter Manley. Yeah.
That was a snap from center.
Landry had 8 picks in 3 different seasons in 1951, 52, and 54, which was an all-pro year for him.
So the 6 in a row were either 51 or 52.
He should have given us a whole lot more love.
Yeah.
Golly, dude.
Well, maybe he realized how hard it was back there. So if I took care of the front 7, I'd save my back 4.
But you know what? When the flex was put together, it was not made for a defensive back at all.
Right.
I think it must be a lot of self-hate that he has. Because, on the serious point, with the flex, and I try to explain it to people all the time, they don't get it. But with the flex, it's made for the run.
Right.
You can't have a defense made for the run and the pass. It just doesn't work. So who's the sacrificial lambs? The secondary. Whether it's the linebackers or whether it's the DBs. We're going to be the ones that are going to have to give up something in order for us to, for the sake of the scheme itself. And when I came in, I wasn't paying attention to that. I wasn't going to give up anything, which is why I got beat sometimes, because I'm going to cover everything, because that's just coming out of college. That's what you know. And as an interceptor, that's what you want. You're going to catch every route. So as much as I was doing it a lot, and it amused Charlie Waters and Dennis Thurman, they had all kind of great nicknames for me, because you're doing something they're not supposed to do. Tom Landry's like, you need to stop doing that. Okay? Just stop doing it. And he just never gave you the credit as a defensive back, because like you said, this was all about stopping the run.
Yeah.
And it was not about pass defense.
I remember when we were doing the documentary on Doomsday defense, the first Doomsday one, right? And we were doing the interview, and somebody asked one of the defensive backs about the flex. And they go, don't ask me that.
Yes.
Nothing to do with us.
Yes, boy, you've never told me that. That's very good.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Cliff or Charlie, something like that.
It was probably Charlie, because Charlie was always trying to fight for us in the secondary. And he knew he wasn't going to listen to myself, Dexter, Michael Downs, or Ron Fellows. He's not going to listen to us. He might listen to Charlie or Dennis Thurman. Had a lot of respect for Dennis Thurman in the locker room. So you can talk all you want. You're not going to change the flex. And until it was outdated by, I would say the first team to outdate the flex would be the Los Angeles Rams. Eric Dickerson averaged 200
He's still
plus
running for yards.
Yes, he is, and I'm still diving after him too.
That was a nightmarish game.
So, by the way,
game. Not just game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Games, right?
Yes, games.
83, 85.
85.
I guess I'm talking about the playoff game.
That's what I'm talking about.
The one in the ice in the end zone. Both of them were playoff games. 83, there was ice in the end zone in Texas Stadium.
Okay.
We went out there in 85. We were that was a
which one was
wild card?
Was that the shutout one?
That was a shutout.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, by the way, people were asking me yesterday about Belichick and what do you think he'll do? And I said, well, Everson Walls said. and so McCarthy made mention to it that this will be the first time they see. He made mention of man coverage. And I didn't know if that was something that Belichick liked to do. Somebody said single safety high, and then he would use man coverage on the wide receivers.
He started off with when I was in New York, we were perfect with the Tampa 2. Mm-hmm. I guess is kind of what they call it now. But our cover 2, depending on how it turned out, is going to be a cover 4. And if you're going to play a cover 2 or a cover 4, one thing you got to have: linebackers, athletic linebackers. If you don't have them, it ain't going to work.
And he's always
That's
had
why
those,
Tampa,
right?
That's why he's had it with LT and Banks and Pepper. And Tampa had it, of course, with Brooks and those guys. So, yeah, if you're going to play a cover 2 or a cover 4, your linebackers have to be extremely athletic, more athletic than most.
Because you have to get underneath.
You got to get underneath. You got. Not only do you have to get underneath, you have to react to the short passes as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they have been on the cutting edge the last several years of using more DBs on the field and other teams have followed suit now.
The Super Bowl itself, Super Bowl 25, yeah. We had Eric Howard was the only defensive lineman in the game for the most part.
And that's the thing with Belichick, the way he's evolved over the years too. I mean, you can't do what they've done over this long a period of time without that. Imagine this though. It's 22 years with the Patriots. You know how long he's been coaching in the National Football League now?
I think
Belichick?
I heard. Go ahead, take
45?
47 years.
Wow.
1975, his first year.
How old was he?
Probably right out of the academy.
Yeah.
Wasn't he at an Army or something like that?
That's where his dad coached. Yeah.
Well, let's see. He is 69 right now, and so he would have been 23 years old.
Wow.
In
like you said, right out of there.
Yep. 75, he was a special assistant with the Baltimore Colts in 75. And then a couple of years with the Lions, the Broncos, and then with the Giants starting in 79 as the special teams coach.
Of course.
Which brings us to more of what Mike McCarthy had to say about Belichick's Patriots when we come back here on Mix Shots.
At Smoothie King, we are blending goodness to fuel your greatness. Every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses only whole fruits and organic veggies. You'll never find sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of our blends. Smoothie King is proud to be the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys. Place your order in the app or online for pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with United Ag and Turf. Before you can park yourself in front of the game, park yourself in a John Deere and power through your chores. Our Land Run package is a 1025R, 25 horsepower tractor with a loader, rotary cutter, and a box blade for $229 a month. And the price you see is the price you'll pay, no surprises. So don't miss another kickoff.
Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com. Offer ends February 1st, 2021. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Now let's get to work.
Back to Mixed Shots.
Get the ultimate fan experience for the ultimate Cowboys fan. Join Dallas Cowboys United, presented by Globe Life, starting at just $20. Join now and get your fan pack, exclusive benefits, and more. Visit DallasCowboys.com/United for details. Hey, join today.
What do you think of that one?
I like that one.
He had some energy. He was.
I think he's better when it's like a quick thing. You know, you don't have to when he prepares.
Not as many commas in there. Not as many .DallasCowboys.com.
All right. How big will special teams play a part in Sunday's game against the New England Patriots? Well, as we were taping the Mike McCarthy show last night, he made a point to me in a break that we need to talk special teams.
Oh. Well, we know why they lost the game last time up there.
And
was
of course,
special teams.
And of course, he was not a part of that.
Yes.
2 years ago, but it's just it's what the Patriots do.
And I think one Matthew Slater is still there.
That's exactly right.
And he was the guy that blocked the punt because the guys on the outside didn't do their assignment and left a gap.
You know, as I look up Matthew Slater, if there was a guy to make the Hall of Fame, who is strictly a special teams player, Matthew Slater might be the leading candidate.
What does he line up?
Not Kenny the Shark?
See? Now, you got him on that one. You got him on that one. Come on now, Bill. Don't be
How many Pro Bowls has Slater made?
I was going to say like 3 or 4.
9.
Oh.
What?
I didn't think he was that
old.
sounded
like Zeke the other day about the interception record. Oh, that's a lot.
all with the Patriots?
Yes, yeah.
That's amazing that they could afford a special teams player for now.
I mean, that's the priority. In 2008, 5th-round draft pick out of UCLA, of course, the son of Jackie Slater.
Mm-hmm.
And of course.
And
Jackson State University, by the way, HBCU.
Go ahead.
It would, and so we're talking father-son Hall of Famers here. Okay.
Yeah.
But, I mean, now, it's kind of one of those deals once you make All-Pro, once you make the Pro Bowl, and once you have that designation that you are only
no
drafted.
One's looking at anybody else.
Exactly. Only drafted for special teams purposes. Take nothing away from Matthew Slater.
Of course not.
But it illustrates the emphasis that Belichick puts on his core special teamers.
Everson asked where he lines up. Well, on that punt block in 2019, he was kind of halfway between the middle and the end.
Yeah.
And he came through a crease that they blocked the wrong way. I mean, it wasn't like he had this great play.
Right.
He just saw that, that guy's going that way, that guy's going that way. I just come through here.
That's the kind of heads-up players that Bill likes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, so how big is John Fossil's role in this game?
Oh, Bones, let's go.
We're thinking we break out the old.
First of all, don't get too excited. That's his problem. He's like his special teams players. They call special teams players because they are special. And sometimes they can act a little special.
Right.
They'll do things that we go like, especially when it comes to downing the ball on the goal line. I know people work on that all the time, but you see some of the biggest idiots. Dude, why you're running so fast? It's just some of the things that they do. And Fossil, to me, he's that guy that can really, empathize with them, and he can relate to them. So I just don't want him to think, oh, here comes Belichick. Here comes the Patriots. So let me do something over the top special. Just do your job, okay?
And keep the Patriots from doing something special like Matthew Slater blocking a punt
Let's not get
and winning
too
the game
cute.
for him.
Let's not get too cute.
And talking about guys running down like that, they run down like that on coverage. And I see them practice it all the time where, you're going to run down as fast as you can and then break down, right? So you can go with whatever.
They forget that last part.
They just run by the guy.
Yeah,
it's
so the ball is sitting right there, and all of y'all, 100 miles, you come and dive on that ball at the 1 yard line.
Right.
You know your momentum.
Somebody's going to slide into the end zone, right?
And everyone's so surprised. Oh, my God, how could that happen? Because of you dummy. My goodness.
Play under control, huh?
That's it. Special teamers. Let's do it, guys. And the ones that know how to do it the best, they're the ones that have the best teams, period, because they are in tune to doing it the right way. It's not just about hustle. It's about accomplishing something. And that's where the best ones have the best records.
And the tough thing on special teams, too, like in training camp, you don't practice it live. You have no live sessions on special teams until you get into a preseason game. And then it's like, this is what I'm supposed to do, right?
Well, how am I seeing people? You know?
Why are they trying to hit me?
One other thing on Slater, the Patriots not only drafted him in the 5th round, they also traded up to draft him in the 5th round. That's how they had targeted him.
What school did he go to?
UCLA.
Did he? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, because Jackie lives
Slater
out there.
would be on
there. Yeah, Jackie lives out there.
Yep. Yeah. So
good one.
Yep. So special teams would be a big part of this one. Okay, so you think of Fossil's mindset going into this one, matching up against a team that's known for special teams,
He's
whatever.
geeked right now.
Right. So, Coach, how about Dan Quinn? I mean, he was coaching the Falcons in a Super Bowl against a Patriots team. And
how much you bet he has every play in his head?
And in fact, he would have been the defensive coordinator in Seattle against the Patriots in a Super Bowl. Also,
he has every play in his.
So
head.
how much do coaches get motivated to face Belichick?
This is one of those things where they didn't wait till this week to prepare.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? He's been looking forward to this all
Sixth
season.
game on the schedule.
Once he saw the schedule, that's my redemption moment right there.
We're spending.
We got redemption moment. We got mojo moments and redemption moments.
As soon as that schedule came out, okay, in the month of May, they stayed up late. Let's study Patriots.
That's right. Why not? We're going to put that to the side. We're going to donate all our, commit all our time to this. I'm going to put some time to my Patriots.
And that's look at it that way?
Do what now?
that you get more motivated if you go up against strong writers from the other team?
Yeah, I'll show.
That's a good word.
I'll show them.
Yeah. Who's the beat writer for the Patriots?
For the Patriots,
yeah.
they've changed over pretty much.
Just like everyone has.
The days.
Could you kick his ass?
I'm trying. I'm forgetting the guy's name. He had worked for one of the papers up there. It might have been the Boston Globe, and then he went over to.
Is Mike Reese?
Mike Reese is who I'm trying to think of. Yeah, he impressed me as a young guy, and he's progressed, and now he's either with ESPN.com.
That's got to be the toughest job.
Or The Athletic or something like that.
I think he's a 9-time Pro Bowler.
Is he? Yeah. No, he's good. He's really good.
Hey, let's think about this. He has to be the worst job in the world to be a beat writer
for
the Patriots and Belichick.
Oh.
You know what though? Last year during COVID, and they were on back when we had Periscope. Periscope went away in May, and so I followed.
That was your thing.
I followed the Patriots, and so every morning at like 8 a.m. Belichick's press conference, I get an alert, the Belichick press conference, and I would listen to him. And actually, there were certain days that he was really good and forthcoming in his press conference.
And that was just this past year.
Last year. And it was a bad year for him. Yeah. They went 7-9. And
they didn't have anything to hide because they were bad. Right?
Yeah, maybe so.
You know what? The funniest line I heard him, and it was at Super Bowl. So there's been so many, I don't remember which one it was for him, right? And it was in probably the Tuesday media session. And so he's got the big room there, and somebody asked him just an inane question. It was like, and he kind of looked at the guy and he scowled and he goes, "So you guys," he goes, "do you have this book of questions?" And the chapter 1 is, "These are the questions you have to ask regardless." and you know what? He was kind of right.
Yes,
too.
He is. He knows that, man. And I think of what I liked about Bill. First of all, he and LT got along extremely well. LT was late for the meeting in training camp, and you just go from the practice field to the locker room to the practice field. It's like half a mile walk, maybe a quarter of a mile, and. You have cars that also, because the people are also trying to get in as well to come and see us. So the cars would be with.
And
the
this was at the stadium, right?
This is at training camp.
At training camp. Okay.
God, I can't remember the university that we were at. All the rich people lived out there.
No, it wasn't Hofstra. That was the Jets, I think.
Yeah, it was where all the rich people and executives lived out there, oil executives and all of that. I can't remember this, but it was upstate New York. And he said, "Hey, LT, come on, man. Everybody's been sitting here waiting on you." He said, What was the deal? LT goes, "Traffic."
Traffic.
Because the cars are actually with you. But I just thought that was an excellent answer. Traffic, Coach. I was in traffic.
Bryant College.
No.
No, that didn't sound right.
It says Patriots training camp locations.
Oh, we're talking
Giants.
We're talking Giants.
Oh, Giants.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
we're talking Giants.
I'm sorry.
He didn't play.
It was. I think it was Pace.
Was
it Pace University?
All right, hold on a second.
Pace was one of them.
All right, before we sign off here, I'm going to get it.
They weren't very.
It was. What year are you talking about?
1990.
I go 25 more rows here. They go all over the place.
They do. They don't stay in one place.
Fairleigh Dickinson.
Fairleigh Dickinson.
There you go. We got all the answers.
Dave Meggett used to hang his sheets out the window when he would climb down and sneak out from training camp. I'm like, man, what is this, a jailbreak? Well, eventually, I guess it could have been.
Well,
for him.
in Thousand Oaks, so they used to the dorms. And then they had a media dorm. I don't know if you were aware of that, but the media dorm was right across from the check-in hut or whatever that was. It security or whatever. So in the back of the dorm, there was a little plaza patio, and they used to stock the refrigerator with beer, right? So after we'd go out at night, we'd come back, sit on the patio, and to the left of us was a softball field. Yep. And if you go, there was a big field, and to the right was a dormitory, right, with a parking lot. And so every once in a while, we used to call them runners. Some player would go from the softball field to that parking lot.
Here. I know exactly what you're. I'm surprised more people didn't call us out.
And we would sit there and we'd see one go, and somebody goes, "There goes a runner," and we'd go, "Hey, hey, hey!" And just yell, and the guy would run faster. The door of the car would open, the lights would come on, the guy would dive in the back seat, and the car would take off. They were escaping for the night. Right?
It was fun. Well, you got L.A. right down the street. I mean, come on. Well, who's going to stay in the dorm when you see Irvin Magic Johnson at his basketball camp? He goes, "Hey, Cubby." Hey, he knows me by Cubby.
Oh, really?
Hey, we'll come to my party tonight. Sure. No problem. Nope, man, we got practice tomorrow morning. Nope, don't worry about it. Me and the boys will be there.
Or the guys that
we made it.
would go through the little checkpoint, and they would have their Bible and their toiletry kit. And it's like, this can be a long Bible session here, right?
Those were the days.
And that was a John Wooden basketball camp that was on campus there.
That's
and Magic would come as a guest instructor or whatever. I remember interviewing him there right outside the gym there at Cal Lutheran.
That's why I saw him right outside the gym.
That's right.
That old gym now is a warehouse for their play production group at the university. So they store all the props in that gym now. That's what it's turned out to be.
They still have the football stadium right there? They got a new football stadium
It's
now.
A soccer field. Yeah.
All right.
And the stands are
I'm going out there soon. I'm driving by 1,000.
Oh, go in. Go walk down.
I went there a couple of years ago.
Because the cafeteria is still the same.
Yeah.
So that one year we were at training camp, and we did a deal on training camp at Thousand Oaks. So Nate and I walked through, did interviews there, and we went into the cafeteria. And it's still the same. You come down them steps either way, right? And there was the big area, and there was a lady there, I don't know, probably looked like in her 60s at least. And so we were looking around. She goes, "Hey, you guys know that the Cowboys used to have training camp here, and this is where they ate." And Nate goes, "Yeah, I know." And she goes, "Yeah, I used to serve them all the time." It's like, wait a minute. We started doing the math, and she had been working there for like over 30 years in that cafeteria.
The same lady?
The same lady. She was there serving you guys.
She's the one that used to let me, she would mark me present for breakfast because I didn't want to go. So she marked me present for breakfast, and I thanked her.
Because you were in L.A.
Yeah, I bought her. I mean, come on, what do you do? When I left training camp, I bought her some Jack Daniels or something. I said, "What do you drink?"
He was bribing. He was bribing back then.
Did.
And now they getting mad at Lale College.
Is that the same?
She was there. Well, I don't know if that was the same woman, but she had been working there since the Cowboys
I'm pretty
training
sure
camp in Thousand Oaks.
Yeah, that's her.
So that would be like 35 years she had worked there. Yeah.
Wow. Well, you'll have to go see her when you go out there.
I'll bring you some Jack.
Yeah. All right. And that will do it. We're 7 minutes late getting out on this edition of Big Shots. And we'll see you again tomorrow at 1:30.
Go Cowboys.
We had extra time.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.